Hello. Brian literally just said, I just farted right before
I just
it went.
Oh my god! I was like,
it
did
is all
that
good.
catch it? And then
No.
I thought I missed it, and then Lindsay
Mhm.
brought it back.
Yeah, of course. Because,
So
that's what I do.
yeah.
But hi,
Hi
everyone.
everybody. This is Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Monday, and I put something on Facebook that I didn't catch until about an hour ago. That I said we were going live at 11 p.m. at night.
Yep. No, we're
So
not.
I apologize for anyone that's been waiting who got babysitters and are like, I need to be up at 11. I apologize,
Yep.
guys.
It's
So it's
all
happening
good.
now.
Yes. Yes, it is.
This is great.
I'm excited. This is gonna be good. All right.
So I'm not sure. No one's watching right now, but if you're just joining,
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much, and we would love to know where you're from. We'd love
Yeah.
to know where your business is based,
Mm-hmm.
but also what is your expertise.
Yep.
It'd be photography, it'd be some kind of artistic offering.
Mm-hmm.
We would love to see that.
Yep.
And this is just day one
Yeah.
of our Get Branded with Brian plus Lindsay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're using a different software. It's called StreamYard.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool. So I really like it because we're able to go live in multiple different places. Hey, so you're from Sugar Hill, Georgia, and you're a photographer. Woo!
What kind of photography do you do? Because it just
and
says
then we got a wedding photographer based in the UK with coffee. Oh yeah.
Well, for some reason, like it's just saying Facebook user. It's not saying the name.
Yeah. So sorry if we don't recognize it. Like say your name too, because we can't see it because it's weird.
It could be a software thing because it's like I don't think anyone's Facebook name is Facebook user.
It's all good. It's all good. Like I said,
so
we're
weird.
using this new software, whatever, but it's all good. All right. So
yeah,
are we ready?
Are you guys ready?
Are you guys ready? We're gonna do our little presentation.
We spent a lot of time on this. So one of the things that Lindsay and I are most passionate about is defining your voice.
Yep. Dale Jones. Yes.
And we have spent so much time refining this, putting things in, taking things out.
Yeah.
And we feel like when you come from a place of authenticity, you make an impact that is so fulfilling. So what we're sharing with you is honestly the beginnings of who we are.
Yes, I think you should have a link using Sugar that we can click on for names to come up. I will figure that out for tomorrow.
Hello.
How about that, Gareth?
So
yes, Ashley Griffin. I can see you. I don't know what it is. So it's weird.
What do you mean by Sugar?
Or probably through StreamYard. There's probably a button that they can click. I will find that out for tomorrow. I'm not going to do it while we're live.
Ashley,
right
thank you so much for joining. You're so awesome. You do great work. And I would say that the other people, I just don't know who I'm talking to. Dale Jones. Okay.
Yeah, and we got Gareth in the UK and all that kind of stuff. So yes, we're good.
Well, we appreciate your time and thank you for showing up. And guys, ask questions.
Yes.
Seriously, ask us questions. This is not a hands-off, observation only kind of thing.
Yep.
We'd love this to be interactive.
Exactly.
So
all right. So let's get going. So what does it mean to get branded with Brian plus Lindsay? I know I'm really ridiculous.
we always start this funny because you and I aren't like just like let's just roll, like we kind of roll with it. So we love kind of easing into it.
Yeah. So we're going to go live every weekday this week at 11 a.m. EST. So it's a 5-day training where we're going to teach you everything you need to know to how to brand yourself and your business and launch a high ticket offer within your current audience in order to create a $2,500 average sale in any niche or more, like for real.
So
if you want to do more.
Our passion is that you should be getting what your worth is.
Exactly.
We spend so much of our life doing a lot of hard work and getting very, very little payment. And that leads to burnout so quickly.
Exactly.
And I told Lindsay many years ago, if we ever figure out a system that allows us to feel good, spend time with our family, and allow ourselves to do things that we could never do, we're going to build it. Yeah. We're going to share it.
Exactly.
And that's what Get Branded with Brian Lindsey is.
Yep.
It's our process given to you.
Exactly. So this training is the foundation of a strategy that's enabled business owners to explode their influence and allowed entrepreneurs to consistently have clients who are willing to pay a premium without a large following and not leaving their pot of gold untapped. So We do have implementation and accountability program that we'll talk about more like on day 4 and
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
So just so you, teasing out there, stay until day 4 because it's going to be amazing.
And this will be something we'll dive into a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the biggest sale you've made in your business, in the entire life of your business?
Yeah.
What is the biggest sale you ever made?
Yeah.
I would love to see.
Yeah. So
we believe you guys are here for a reason. And Lindsay and I just want to thank you for committing to learn how to turn your passion into profit and generating income through your social media, but through with ease and consistency.
Exactly.
And it's like
$800 for corporate headshots.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yes. Awesome. Okay. So you may be wondering if this is for you. So this is for anyone that has a desire to turn their social media presence into a virtual ATM. I know it sounds funny, but like you really genuinely can like get to clients from your social media.
Yeah.
This is looking for anybody who's looking to earn like at least an extra 10K per month.
Sure.
Selling to their audience with a method that's been battle tested. This is something that we've done.
It's been battle tested.
Oh yeah.
It's been beat up. It's been thrown around.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think real success is learning your resilience.
Exactly.
And a lot of what we have here is because we've lived it. We've learned it. And now we want to teach it.
Exactly. This is for anyone that's tired of putting a lot of thought and energy. $8,000, which is their biggest wedding package.
And the thing is, Ashley, your work is amazing.
Yep.
I am not surprised with that.
Yep.
That's amazing.
So this is for anyone who feels like their posting has been a waste of time or it's not big enough to monetize. And this is really for anyone who's just tired.
And the thing is, when I think of a virtual ATM, I think of actually expressing your worth and talking about the things that you love.
Yes.
And we're going to go in this a little bit further on.
Yeah.
But we believe that you can make money by actually genuinely connecting to your audience.
Yeah. So I was trying to get through my part of the slide and you just totally interrupted me. So this is for anyone who's tired of everyone's strategies that online that don't work, that you're looking for something actionable that delivers.
Well,
so whatever.
Well,
but
I mean, I apologize. I'm sorry.
But
something that you have learned about us, or you're going to learn, is that Lindsay and I are just not cookie cutter.
Right.
We don't have normal DNA. We're not the typical people.
Yep.
We believe in honestly being yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of our conversations in our own life, but also with business and personal, we talk about being yourself.
Yeah.
That is the best way to sell what you want. In order to get what you want, you have to be who you are.
Yep. All right. So before we begin, we want to let you know that we've been in the stage of being burned out, tired, and working way too hard.
We could make a separate live and talk about our burnout years.
I know, right?
Who wants to see that?
Yes.
I don't.
Okay. So 3 years ago, Brian, he was driving 70 hours a week with Lyft. And then I was at home. Yeah.
I was 100% dedicated. We had to survive.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I didn't want to do the 9 to 5 job. I did it too many times. And, I loved being on a journey. I loved meeting people, but I had no idea how to start a conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
Like I'm outgoing now. I'm vibrant. I have a lot of energy, but I didn't have that at one time. Yeah. And I learned a lot about who to talk to, how to talk, but also how to communicate by doing Lyft, but at a cost. It took a lot out of me and us.
Yeah. So Brian was driving 70 hours a week with Lyft. Basically, we have been full-time photographers for so long, but it was like we couldn't figure out how to get clients and all that kind of stuff.
It says Facebook user, so I apologize.
Yeah.
I think it's getting the engagement started that I struggle with.
Yeah.
New business, got some work behind me in the wedding sector, but I really want to get more bookings. Yep,
exactly. So I stayed home and learned everything I could about marketing and sales.
I was gone all the time.
Yeah. And so I was home, like listening to every single free training, just like this. I was listening to books. I was investing in different things to just learn what I could. So we tried and invested in a lot, but nothing seemed to click.
And we here, to be honest, we did get sporadic bookings.
Yep.
But it wasn't it wasn't consistent.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We knew how to charge for weddings.
Sure.
We knew how to do weddings. We knew how to do that. But then we didn't understand like what we could do with portraits. And also like we the weddings weren't coming. That's the reason why Brian went back to that.
We were in a very deflated season. Let's
Yeah.
just be super honest.
Yeah.
It's like we tried everything
Mhm.
and we didn't know where to go.
Yep.
And honestly, we didn't know ourselves. Like, guys, like it's so important in whatever you're doing that you spend time not just on your business, but on getting to know yourself.
Yep.
And that season of my life, we got to know who we really were,
Mhm.
which enabled us to really go to the next stage.
Yeah. So this is it. This is what this person was talking about. Where like you might be thinking that Brian Lindsey, my reach is really small. I've never been taught how to sell, and this technology stuff is super overwhelming.
Like
Have you ever been there?
I could. Here's the thing: is I never knew how to use Facebook. You and
Yeah.
I never did.
Mhm.
We never did. You know, in
Yeah.
2017, 2018,
Mhm.
we would just post pictures of our food
Mhm.
or pictures of or stories. And I didn't know how to create a relationship.
Mhm.
So it's like my audience was super small.
Yeah.
Literally nobody knew that we existed. It felt like no one knew we existed.
Yeah.
And the conversations we had and we tried to explain who we were, we felt so deflated
Mhm.
because we're talking to them. They're like, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah.
So like we didn't feel great in ourselves, so our
Mhm.
conversations didn't feel great.
Yeah.
So we were incredibly deflated, and we felt like whatever we do was just such a small impact.
Yeah.
It almost felt insignificant when we did it.
Mhm. All right. So before we get started, we'll quickly show you people who have learned and applied our strategies and systems.
Yes,
So
us.
us, we've done it.
We applied it.
Yes. Who are we? Sorry, I realized that I was like, I had a slide in there. And
Oh,
it
it's fine.
Got taken
Well,
away,
I
but
mean,
whatever.
I think
Who
it's
are we?
so Lindsay and I, we've
Mhm.
been married for 17 years,
Yep.
and we have been business owners and parents for that
Mhm.
amount of time.
Yep. So my dad started a landscaping business when I was 4 weeks old, 41 years ago. And entrepreneurship is just in my veins.
Yep.
Like my dad had to go out and get a job. Basically, he got fired from his landscaping job for thinking about starting a business.
Well, once he find out, man, I can make more money doing
Yeah.
my own thing. His boss
Exactly.
was like, "Hang on a minute,
Yep.
hang on a minute. I don't know if I
Exactly.
agree with that."
Yep. So my dad suddenly had a 4-week-old baby, and he did everything he could to put food on the table, and he did, and it was amazing. He
So-
taught me such a good work ethic.
So my dad, from a very young age, was always like a manager.
Mhm.
So as I got older, he would just move up, and ultimately he was like a plant manager.
Mhm.
And one of the biggest things he taught me was don't look at your employees as numbers.
Mhm.
Look at them as people who have
Yeah.
emotions, that have needs, that want to feel seen and heard.
Mhm.
So he had an open door policy.
Yeah.
He would always invite them to sit down, talk about their life, whatever they're going through. And I feel
Mhm.
like he got more out of them because they felt appreciated by him.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what we do with the people we mentor.
Mhm.
That's what we do when we're on wedding days.
Yeah.
We love people
Mhm.
because we feel like real success is really seeing people in the form they're in,
Exactly.
not trying to bend them into something that they're not.
Yeah.
And we feel like that's what success is too.
Yeah.
Is that when you love what you do, it comes out in everything that you do.
Mhm.
And that's what my dad has taught me. And I feel like that's what your dad's taught you.
Mhm.
Is that it's always been the hand-on, loving approach
Yeah.
that causes someone to be successful.
Exactly. So we accidentally got started in our photography business 17 years ago.
And when I mean accidentally, we accidentally.
Yeah.
I was in the kitchen.
Mhm.
Your roommate said, "Hey Brian, you want to shoot my wedding?" And I'm
Mhm.
like, "Is there another Brian?" Because my mentor at the time said, "Don't do weddings; they'll ruin your life." So glad I didn't listen
Mhm.
because literally 2 weeks after our own wedding,
Yeah.
we were walking back to the car,
Mhm.
shooting their wedding, being, "This is what I love.
Yep.
I feel so connected to this."
Exactly.
And I'm like, I found my purpose.
Mhm.
My first wedding, I was like, this is exactly what I should be doing.
Yep.
I love capturing the human experience.
Exactly. But after about 350 weddings, we were kind of like, you know what? It just felt the same. It felt, I mean, it was fine. We're still really good at weddings. Like, I'm not gonna
Well,
lie. Like, we're
I
still
mean,
really good at
we
weddings.
loved it. It's just our lives changed.
Yeah,
We had kids and,
Yep.
and
We have
you
4
know,
kids, trying to get a sitter for all of
it was
them.
expensive. and-
And then just hard on our bodies as well. So I
Yeah.
realized that, and so I went back and I'm like, what is it that we love to do? We love to work with people in a more personalized way. And so branding and portraits are a major part of that. We also mentored over 75 photographers last year to help them grow their photography businesses from like 0 to 6 figures many
Yep.
times over.
Yep.
And we're the founder of Get Branded with Brian plus Lindsay.
And to be super more honest, without going into super big detail, you know, who we've become has gone through so many different iterations.
Exactly.
So many different seasons of being weathered and refined.
Yeah.
And who we are now is because of the investment of people that have invested in us, but also the things that we've allowed to be invested in.
Exactly.
And we want to teach from a place of experience. And the thing is, we realize in our coaching abilities is that we can't teach talent.
Yeah.
We can only help you with technique. And we feel like
within your business.
Within your business. What I'm saying is, like, everyone runs their business with a different technique.
Yeah.
They have a different way of doing it. And we believe when we help you learn what you do, help you fall in love with what you do, it allows you to have a handle on your business that you never had before, because we believe radical responsibility in your business, where you show up, you do the hard work, that's where it's going to pay off, and that's where the satisfaction is going to come from. And we believe in creating an encouraging environment where you feel seen and you feel heard, and you want to do the hard work, where things happen. That's the environment that we love being part of, but also we love helping people discover.
Yep. So we're parents of 4 gorgeous kids.
4 kids.
And we've helped so many businesses and women see themselves, their true selves along the way.
And, you know, honestly, we have developed a unique work-life balance.
Yes, we have.
And, you know, our kids always want something. They always want to do something. And the thing is, like, we live our life out loud. We really do. We do it on purpose because we want our kids to know how difficult life can be.
Yep.
We talk about the hard things. And the thing is, it's like, that's how you are healthy.
Exactly.
And we feel like when you talk, just like in your business, when things are hard, you talk about what's hard.
Exactly.
And that's the mentality that we learn in a relationship with our kids. And that's what we teach in our course.
Yep. So that all sounds great, but it wasn't always easy.
We look so sad.
So, okay, real talk here. There was a time in our lives and our businesses where we both felt so defeated and valued. So genuinely, like, I got to the point where I was having really bad insomnia.
Yep.
And my blood pressure was really crazy high.
Yep.
My hormones were all out of whack. There was a lot of stuff happening, but basically I ended up having a seizure. And then I had another one and another one. And it was just like, but they're all sporadic and they're all spread out and they're all weird, but it always comes down to, it was a time of stress in my life.
And a lot of it was, you know, we had a lot on our shoulders. We had a lot of life stuff going on. We kind of were going through this emotional tornado. If you guys have ever experienced an emotional tornado, please raise your hand. Please comment below. When life is hard, you don't know how to sort through it. You don't know how to get out of it. And I remember when Lindsay had that seizure, my kids ran up to me and they thought mommy was laughing. They thought mommy was kidding, but I'm like, no, something's wrong with mommy. And that woke me up to realizing, like, wow, there's stress here because we're not actually dealing with what's bringing the stress.
Exactly.
You were doing it all by yourself. And teamwork is not always dream work.
Yeah.
You have to work through things and understand why things are happening. And that's personally kind of why we teach this.
Yeah.
Is because when you have a healthy process, you have healthy results.
Yeah. Because it's so easy to work really hard and not take time for yourself then end up suffering as a result.
Always take time for yourself.
Yeah.
There's always going to be clients. There's always going to be money to be made. There's always going to be photo shoots to be taken.
Yeah.
But you have a limited amount of time. And if you give yourself the time that you need, the rest and the relaxation and the refreshment you need, you will be okay.
Yeah.
And that's what we learned through that experience.
Exactly. It was a hard time, but
here we are.
So,
here we are.
Yeah. So if you've ever had a rug pulled out from underneath your feet and you fell flat on your face, you may know what this is feeling. You may know this feeling well. We went through 9 months.
9 months.
9 months of like, what are we doing? How are we doing this?
Staring at the walls.
Yeah. Just trying to figure it all out.
Chasing anything.
Yep.
Like, this is going to work.
Yeah.
Right?
So, as I mentioned earlier, in 2005, we began our wedding journey as entrepreneurs and accidentally started a wedding photography business. So the picture on the left is actually from our first wedding we did. That was my roommate and her now husband. They've been married for 17 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, and then the couple on the right is actually a couple that we ended up mentoring.
Well, we did more than mentoring. We shot their wedding, but also we did marriage counseling.
Yes, exactly.
We did marriage counseling. And it's because
during our engagement session.
And at this time, we were no way qualified to do marriage counseling. But they're like, we want you to marriage counsel us. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Now we went through everything.
Yeah.
And somehow it stuck.
Yep. Exactly. They're doing really good. They've got 4 kids themselves.
And I'm being a little sarcastic.
Yeah.
But I'm saying is that we have felt the calling on our life from the very,
Mhm.
very beginnings of just our relationship.
Yeah.
That it's more than just, hey, we're going to take photos.
Mhm.
We love getting into the foxholes of people's lives and
Exactly.
helping them get out of the things that hold them back.
Yeah.
And that's why we really did that. It was a future version of who we were going to be.
Exactly. So it did so well. Like, we felt like we were the most popular photographers ever. We were shooting like
Woo!
50 weddings a year
We were
and
like,
booked out completely from May through October, which in Kenosha, that's the only time that you can actually shoot, because otherwise it's freezing and snowing and cold.
man,
We were like rolling in the dough.
we were
or so
making
thought.
we were making money,
Uh-huh.
but what we weren't making was time for each other.
Exactly.
So there's a little bit of I think like a fib, a lie out there
Mhm.
is the busier you are, the happier you are.
No.
And it's actually incorrect.
No.
I never saw Lindsay. I never saw my kids. I was
Mhm.
cranky. I was crazy. I
Yeah.
felt like I didn't have a life.
Mhm.
And the thing is, through this experience, I realized my life is way more important than me having to be gone all the time.
Mhm.
So it's good to be busy. It's good to be making money,
Yeah.
but you always got to make time for the things that come after that period.
Exactly.
And I think that's what we've learned and developed in our life now.
Yep. So suddenly our marketing stopped working in our small town of Kenosha, Wisconsin. Like, it was one of those things where we were just on the first page of Google. People Googled Kenosha photographer. We showed up first, and it was just really easy.
Yeah.
But then suddenly it just kind of stopped working, and we couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah.
And so we only had 5 weddings booked for 2016, and like no prospects on the books.
Ooh.
And the thing about weddings is you have to book out like a year in advance.
Sure.
So if you are looking at the next year and you've only got 5 weddings, there's no way that you can actually survive off that.
I remember calling your dad.
Yeah.
I'm like, Greg, we don't have any bookings.
Mhm.
And it felt very scarce. If
Yeah.
you guys have felt that feeling
Mhm.
of extreme, an abundance, you have a
Mhm.
ton of going on, and then you don't.
Mhm.
And that icky feeling that, oh my gosh, what is going on? That's what I felt.
Mhm.
And the thing is, I realized that I was relying off of just word of mouth, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But I knew nothing about advertising.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about ads. I knew nothing about that stuff.
We kind of put like $300 in the yellow pages.
I spent $500 on this advertisement in a golf magazine,
Mhm.
and I thought that was going to work out. You know what?
Yeah.
It didn't work out
Nope.
because I learned then, is
Mhm.
that our audience is not at the golf courses.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
So the thing is, we do this in the very beginning of our relationship of our business, right? Is that we just do all the things
Mhm.
that come
Yeah.
through other people.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we never did that again.
Yep.
Because we realized that we need to do something different.
Exactly. So we had no clue where our next clients were going to come from, and our calendar kept getting slimmer and slimmer.
I want to put that not Memo, am I talking about?
Me?
That meme of John Travolta just looking.
Yep.
'Cause that's how
Huh?
it felt. Like I would just go outside, look down the street, 27th Avenue, and be like, is there a client?
Nope.
Is there a client? Is there a client?
Nope.
It was that scary, guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing?
So since it didn't seem to be working in our small town, we're like, you know what? We just need a bigger city. We need to be able to shoot year round. We need to be able to have more people, have people with better jobs and all that kind of stuff. That, like, Atlanta is where
Yeah.
the money is.
Well,
It-
we should give a little bit of backstory on that.
Yeah.
So I'm from Illinois.
Mhm.
Lindsay's from Atlanta.
Yeah.
And we were living in Kenosha,
Mm-hmm.
and we knew there was a change coming.
Yep.
We didn't know where, and we didn't know when.
Yep.
But for 6 months, we were like, where are we going?
Yeah.
And every single time we came to Atlanta, we walked the streets, we met the
Mhm.
people, and we're like, there's something here
Mhm.
that's pulling us here.
Yep. Exactly.
So we moved here,
Mhm.
and I always say we had a little bit of money
Mhm.
and we had a lot of dreams.
Yep.
And we're like, we're just going to show up and we're
Yep.
going to make this work.
Exactly.
Well, there was a whole lot of work
Yep.
that was
So-
about to hit the
So
hit the
that's the
fan.
whole thing. We moved our whole family down to Atlanta. We changed our website. It changed our business name. We went from Brian Cohen Photography
To Brian
to
plus
Brian
Lindsey.
plus Lindsey
Yeah.
Photography. We put everything into marketing
We
ourselves
did.
in this new area. And it was supposed to change everything. I was
We
like, this is going to shift.
I think we thought that we were just gonna make one connection
Hmm.
or couple,
Yep.
and then it all would just go the way we want.
Exactly.
We really quickly realized that the problem that was happening in Kenosha was
Hmm.
happening in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And the problem was
Hmm.
what we were capable of doing
Hmm.
with the knowledge that we had.
Exactly.
We didn't have the knowledge.
Hmm.
We didn't know what we were really capable of.
Yeah.
We were going off of, honestly, an old version of ourselves
Hmm.
that was trying to produce new results.
Exactly.
So we started on a process of reversing that
Yeah.
and relearning who we are.
Hmm. So I was like, I'm going to build a new website and invite all my friends, and they're going to buy what I have to offer because that's what friends do. And so I literally did this. Okay. So I literally went on Facebook and I'm like, hey, we just changed the name of our business. Can you guys go and like our business page? Will you go and give us a Google review, whatever it is, because like we need to be able to do this. But I realized all my friends were still like on Facebook, were still in Kenosha. And
Yeah.
so I didn't have
Yeah.
any Atlanta friends. And so it kind of worked, but it kind of didn't, and it was just funny.
Yeah.
So what I actually did is I started learning everything I could about Facebook ads and how, honestly, just to like give away things like an engagement session or
Yeah.
headshots to try and entice people to buy more.
So I was driving Lyft about a maximum 70 hours, mostly
Mhm.
more like 40.
Mhm.
And I would get up, Lindsay would be on Facebook learning.
Yep.
And we were barely making bills.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There'd be times that Brian would be out until like 3 a.m.
I was just like, this is
He
working. This is
drove all night sometimes. Like he
and
would come home at 5,
yeah,
6 a.m.
I was
sometimes.
gone all the time, and then I would just get messages from Lindsay. And the thing
Mhm.
is, a lot of our information that we share between Lindsay and I, our conversations, are through Facebook Messenger.
Yep.
So she reached out to me. He's like, "We have a client call."
Yeah. I'm
And
like, hey, Brian.
I'm like, a client call.
Yeah,
I
because
feel
I
like
learned
a
it.
grandpa. I'm like, a client call? What is this? That's what I felt like because
Mhm.
it felt like it was a bygone era. I
Yeah.
didn't feel like it was going to happen in the way that we wanted it to.
Mhm.
So I kind of lost some hope.
Yeah.
I was discouraged.
Yeah.
So I had to pull over,
Mhm.
and then we had a Zoom call with
Yeah.
our client, and
Mhm.
then they booked,
Mhm.
and I'm like, what just happened?
See, I kept telling him.
Like,
I'm
what?
like, Brian, these things work. I'm like, basically what it was is I was like, so Brian he worked at Costco when we first moved down here to
Sure.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then we went full time because we were doing weddings. And then,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, I know. So that's coming up.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
about the Facebook ads not working.
Exactly.
So, what happened is that we were doing weddings, but it was really hard. Like we would give away a free engagement session
Sure.
and then hope that they would book their wedding with
Yep.
us. And some did, but most didn't. And then, so what I did is, I'm like, Brian was like doing these portraits on the side.
Well, I mean,
And so
yeah.
he would,
It was easy to build a portfolio.
yeah.
That's what you're trying to say.
Yep. So
Yeah.
what he was doing is he was going on Instagram. He would find somebody that he thought had a cool look and said, "Hey, do you want to do a shoot with me?" He felt like if he asked them to do a shoot with him,
Yep.
then he couldn't ask them to also pay.
No. I thought if I asked them to do a portfolio building with me,
Yeah.
they would pay me.
Uh-huh.
I thought it would be the next step.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't happen that way.
So I'm like, let's figure out how to get paid to do portraits. So yeah, basically we grew our influence, but not our bank account balance. We were popular, but we were also poor.
When I say popular,
Mhm.
is that we just posted our personalities.
Yep.
We just talked about ourselves. It were just silly things.
Yep.
And we were just like, well, people seem to follow us here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's just. But I wasn't thinking about anything that we're teaching now.
Mhm.
I was just like, I'm just gonna
I love
share.
it.
I'm just gonna share little things, because
Mhm.
to be honest, like I feel like when I was younger, I was very socially awkward.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know how to communicate my voice.
Mhm.
So Lindsay was always more confident with that. So
Mhm.
Lindsay would go towards the business element because she had the experience, she had the confidence to do it.
Mhm.
I had the confidence to say I want to photograph you.
Yeah.
But I didn't go into, hey, can you pay me?
Yeah.
So we had these two worlds that were kind of like crashing into each other. And we're like, well, if we're actually going to make it here, we need to actually look at what we're doing and what we're actually saying to ourselves, but also to our clients.
Yeah. So eventually we learned that everything we were doing was wrong.
Everything.
People would come to us for their free thing.
Yeah.
So either their free portrait shoot that Brian would do, or like their free engagement session or their free headshot, and then they would leave without really buying anything
and the
more.
thing is, it's like
because they didn't have to.
We were pouring so much of our heart and soul and like spending like
we didn't really ask for the sale either.
That's the thing. That I mean, we're gonna get this a little bit later.
Yeah.
But because we weren't legitimately asking for it, it wasn't coming our way.
Yeah.
And like, this is something I'm really passionate about. Like, how many times in life when you ask for something, you either got a no or yes, or you got it right away. And it's because you actually asked for it. And we feel like in life, in business, all that comes down to is your confidence to legitimately have the confidence to ask for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's worse to be in a place where it's a maybe. And then you're like, how can I turn that maybe into a yes?
Yeah.
But because you never asked for it, you're in this infinite loop of like, is this actually going to happen?
Yeah.
And we believe so much of what you want in your life and business comes down to your confidence to genuinely ask for what you deserve.
Exactly.
And I had none of that. You and I had none of that.
Yeah.
We just thought that people would give us money.
Yeah.
Because doing a service doesn't equal money. It doesn't. And the thing is, people are successful because they ask for what they want.
Yeah.
Instead of assuming that someone's going to pay them for something that's in their head. You can't run a business, guys, by being a mind reader. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to get a shirt. Don't run your business being a mind reader.
Yeah.
That's not how you do it.
Yeah. So genuinely, we weren't confident in asking for the sale.
We were little fishies out of water. We're
yep,
like,
exactly. So it was hard for us to stay motivated. Like I would do all this work and then I'd be like, Brian, we've got to do IPS. We've got to do these things. Like I'm telling you, this is how we're going to do it. And he's like, nobody's ever going to pay.
And
nobody's going to pay.
And to be super honest, we had legitimate arguments.
Yeah.
Legitimate arguments about like how we're going to do it, why we're doing it.
I'm like, Brian, in-person sales, portraits. This is how you do it. You do it. You invite them over. You have it. You photograph them. Then you show them their photos, and then they choose which ones. It's gonna happen. He's like, nobody will ever do that.
Well, and because I haven't been in an environment where I knew how it felt to be on the other side of the ask. It would always be before the ask, and that's where I would feel.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, I don't want to inconvenience them by asking them for a payment for what I love to do.
Right.
I don't want to inconvenience.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's why you don't get sales sometimes, and that's why you don't get what you want, because you feel like you're actually more committed to the inconvenience of asking for what you want.
Exactly.
It's like if you're hungry, even you're hungry, you ask for food. You're thirsty, you go get water.
Yeah.
But if you didn't ask for it, it wouldn't come your way. And we feel like having a successful business is confidently asking for what you want.
Exactly. So I tried in-person networking meetings, passing out business cards to whoever would take it, just hoping
please
the sales
just
would
take
happen.
this card, please.
So
please
I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I am not a morning person at all.
She's not.
And I am not like super outgoing.
If I was in court and the judge asked me to put my hand on the Bible and say, "Is Lindsay not a morning person?"
Yeah.
I would slam my hand on that Bible. I'm like, she's not a morning person.
No. So legitimately, it just didn't work. And so I was like, why? I would like sit there and I would message people, I would do things, and they're like, no, they're not doing anything.
But I mean, to be even more transparent, we didn't have any.
Where's our messages? I would sit there and I would look, and I'm like, where?
I mean, I think someday I don't think we can find these messages.
Yeah.
But our conversations with prospective clients were like, hey, do you want to shoot with me? Hey, do you like photography? It was so general. No, but I'm saying is that the language didn't harvest what we wanted to pull out of the ground.
Yeah.
When you plant a seed, you know when you plant that seed, something's going to come out of it.
Yeah.
Our conversations, we weren't planting the seed.
Yeah.
We were just saying pointless things that never brought us anywhere.
I know. So it really stinks because now that we've got, when we switched to StreamYard, it stopped showing the GIFs.
Oh,
We had gifts in
oh
here,
wow,
and so this guy had like thrown a Chinese star at the wall, and it was really funny actually. So that's the reason why it says that.
hilarious.
But yeah, so we would spend all of our entire day on a lot of calls for a little bit of sales.
Well,
And it just felt like we were constantly
well,
being rejected.
you
We
know,
constantly were like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. It's too
well, I
expensive,
mean, like
whatever, you know?
we were having calls, we were having
Hmm.
conversations,
Hmm.
but there was, I think, a lot of things now is
Hmm.
that we didn't know how to guide the conversation.
Yeah.
We didn't know how to add value, and
Hmm.
ultimately, we did not know how to close the sale.
Yeah. That's
Though
really what it
we
boils down
didn't
to.
know any of that.
Yeah.
We just thought if we were said enough nice things about ourselves and
Yeah.
what we did,
Hmm.
they would just be like, "Oh, they just want money." But we didn't know how to direct the conversation.
Yeah.
This is funny, but when I asked Lindsay to marry me, I didn't ask her on the day I met her. It was a
Hmm.
process of me getting to know her, and
Yeah.
then when I asked her, I knew it was the right thing to say.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's just like running your business.
Yeah.
You have to get to know the customer, you have to
Hmm.
get to know their wants and their needs, but ultimately ask for the sale by
Yeah.
closing it by
Hmm.
showing your prices and talking about it. It's
Exactly.
like I feel like you're going to see a whole lot more of where you are in life when
Hmm.
you stop dating your business
Yep.
and get married to it.
Exactly.
That's the game changer.
So that method of selling wasn't all it was cracked up to be. But I personally was still determined to make money. So I learned a ton about Facebook ads,
Yeah.
got so good that we actually became mentors in a $15,000 mastermind. We were helping other businesses succeed, but we weren't seeing success in ourselves. We were
Mm.
giving so much of our time. Like we would literally
Yep.
wake up at like 5:30 a.m., check our messages because we
Yeah.
were supporting people from all different time zones
Yep.
all over the world. So like we would have like 10 different messages that had come in overnight about like why aren't my Facebook ads working? What about this? What about that? Whatever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And then those messages would continue. We would have
Yep.
Zoom calls from like 9 a.m. till 9 p.m.
Yep.
Um, those messages would be coming through while we were in our Zoom calls, all this
Yep.
kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then we would finally collapse in bed at like 11:30 p.m. And it was like, still people were like, you're not doing enough. Like that was,
You
I
know,
think, the most hurtful thing
well,
is that we were giving our whole entire
well,
lives
we
to
see
everything.
the thing is,
I ended
well,
up having a seizure in the
yeah,
middle of that
yeah.
too. So
We are we learn a lot of we learned a lot about ourselves in that
yeah,
time,
yeah,
and we learned a lot of good, but
hmm,
also we learned a lot of bad,
yeah,
and we feel like, you know, when you're giving in to everything and anything,
yeah,
you're gonna get a lot of the things that you don't want.
hmm,
And the thing is, we love helping people,
yeah,
and the thing is, I think the biggest thing that came out of this is that we are actually full-time encouragers.
hmm,
We love helping people find their true self.
yeah,
And the more that we get to know somebody, the
hmm,
more that we can unlock our potential to
yeah,
help someone find their own.
yeah,
And that season of our life showed us, wow, we're really good at finding the heart of the person.
exactly.
And we're really good at encouraging people to find their true self.
Hmm.
And that's helped us guide us to where we are now, is
Yeah.
that we want to help people
Hmm.
find their true voice,
Yeah.
but honestly, help them learn how to do it in their own way.
Yeah.
Not try to do it the same way with every single person,
Exactly.
because we feel like when people feel seen and heard in what they do,
Hmm.
their most powerful success comes out of them discovering what
Hmm.
their real potential is.
Yeah.
That's
So
why we mentor.
yeah. So, but this is what happened. Okay, for
Yeah.
real, the worst thing that could have happened happened. The Facebook ads that we were using stopped working.
Yeah.
We used to be able to like set somebody's ads up. They would get like hundreds of leads in a week, and then they would have to shut them off so that they could contact everybody. And then, like by the end, like we were struggling to get 5 people over. And I've actually
Well,
talked to people that are
yeah.
still using that
Yeah.
same Facebook ad strategy, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I can usually get about 4 people, and I mean it
Well,
works,
we
Like I'll run my ads all month long and get 4 people, and it balances
so
out."
I mean, one thing that we don't mention a lot is that we
Yeah.
are genuinely Facebook ad specialists.
I
We
really
we
do
know
know these
Facebook
things
ads, we know
really
customer
well.
service
Yeah.
excellent, and we fortunately got in on Facebook when
Mhm.
it loved running ads.
Exactly.
And we would go to our ad
Mhm.
results and we'll see lead after lead. I mean, hundreds
Mhm.
and hundreds of leads in one day.
Yeah.
We got leads so much at one time that we had to hire a VA to
Yeah.
help manage that.
Mhm.
Well, the thing is, Facebook has changed And now it isn't the same.
Yep.
And you can't rely on that way.
Yep.
And the experience I've seen is that it takes a lot of money to get those results.
Yeah.
So the thing is, when there's a resistance, there has to be another route.
Yeah.
You know, this may sound funny, but if a fish hits resistance, like it hits another rock, or it hits like an obstacle in the way, it doesn't give up.
Yeah.
It swims around it, and it may go from a stream to a creek.
Yeah.
Then that creek makes it into a river or a lake. And I feel like in that time we became that fish, and we found a different route.
Exactly.
And that's why we're teaching this, is that whenever you rely on one thing to work for you, don't live your life on that one thing working for you. Always find another route.
Yep.
So we had to move away from that.
Yep. So the end, we actually just found that it was much easier just to post organically and get people in that way.
Yeah.
We still got about the same amount, but we didn't have to waste money on Facebook ads.
And here's the most important thing. We believe the most appreciated and, like I say, loved customer you ever have in your life is because of the personal connection that you make with them. The ads initiated the relationship, but when you got on the phone and you talked to them, that's what sealed the deal.
Yeah.
So we believe in making Facebook posts, interactive, postings wherever you're going to post about connection.
Yeah.
And we feel like that is something that a computer could never do for you. That's something that Zuckerberg could never do for you.
Yeah.
We believe in creating personal connection in whatever you're putting out that makes people want to talk to you. Where it's not salesy, it's not cheesy, but it's relationship.
Yeah.
That's what people are hungry for in this time.
Exactly.
That's why people want to do anything. It's about the experience that you're creating for them. They're like, I'm only going to get this or feel this way if I interact with this person.
Exactly.
And that's why we moved to this.
Yep. So after perfecting our entire process, we have created what is now known as the boss rule.
The boss rule.
The boss rule. So it's the rule that completely changed our lives, and the rule that can change your lives too. I liked that whole thing. So when we were first trying to figure all this out, I was like, let's call it branded like a boss. And Brian's like, I don't know about the boss. And I'm like, no, it's like, that's the whole thing. We're becoming a boss of ourselves. And so I kept the boss rule because I like it. So since figuring out the boss rule, our lives have completely changed. We have a life of adventure.
So this is what's happened a little bit for us in a nutshell. Because if you hang out with us for a little bit, this stuff's going to come out. But we've been able to buy our dream van. I've been able to I've been able to buy my dream camera. And that dream camera is just not, oh, cool, I have photos. But it's unleashing and unlocking a dream that I've always had. I want to do more videos. I want to create movies. I want to create documentaries. And I bought a camera that allows me to do both. I never thought that was a reality. And when I'm holding it in my hand, I'm like, I can't believe I'm holding this.
Exactly.
And I feel like it's all about that investment in yourself that allows those dreams to come knocking.
Exactly.
We were able to go to Orlando.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. So we took our kids to Universal Studios without even telling them where we were going. We're like, so we're going to go on vacation. And they're like, where? I'm like, it's a secret. And so they legitimately figured it out when we pulled it up and they saw Universal Studios on the sign.
Yep.
We got to purchase the camera of our dreams, like Brian was saying, and so really start building what we wanted. And we got to buy the van that we needed for our family and not have to worry about payment. So it's awesome.
But this happens, guys, to be super honest with you, because of a healthy structure in your business.
Yeah.
Now, you can win the lottery. Anyone can win the lottery. But the best lottery you're ever going to win is learning what you're really capable of.
Exactly.
These things have come out of that discovery.
Exactly.
Of learning our true worth, our true potential, and what we can really do when we're in our place of power.
Exactly.
So all these things are because of that.
So genuinely, we've got 4 kids and we love being able to do things with them. We get giant pizzas. We go rafting. We ride our bikes. We're able to invest in our daughter's marching band camp.
We invest in experiences.
Marching band, yeah.
Because we have created an experience.
Exactly.
Our experiences we have our kids are directly a result of the experience that we've created in our business.
Exactly.
There is no disconnect.
Yep. So we do everything that we do business-wise while our kids are in school, and then we're done. That's the whole thing. So I know a lot of people, like on your status, especially yesterday, we're talking about like that whole work-life balance. And like that's genuinely what we've done.
Yep.
It's like we work from like 9 to 2.
Yeah.
And when our daughter goes off to middle school and then before it's time to pick up our boys, that's when we do the majority of our work is during those hours. And then we spend time with our kids.
And we have carved out our business life inside of our personal life.
Yeah.
I think the biggest struggle I see in business is that it's all business and there's a little bit of personal.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we have crashed and burned trying to do that. Where we have to be like, we have to put the personal and then build a business around that.
Exactly.
Because we're going to lose so much of our connection, our relationship, and our health and our wealth by trying to make a business and then putting a little bit of personal in there. We are personal people. So we have to have that personal touch in what we do.
Exactly.
We can't be all business without being personal.
Yep. So we live a life of adventure. We have clients that we love, and we're interacting with people from all over the world. That really genuinely is what we love to do.
And the thing is, Lindsay and I are open books, and we feel like the clients and the people we work with, it's all based off of, hey, your life is an adventure.
Yep.
Let's go on it together. Don't change who you are.
Exactly.
Let's bring joy in the things that you don't have joy and allow your life to become what it is.
Yep.
If you let yourself be free.
Yeah.
Business should allow you to be free.
Yeah. So we are actually going to show you the exact formula that we use and leave no question unanswered. But after doing this for years, we've realized that there's a very specific way in order to do it right. So you could do all of this and more, just like we have, following this simple 4-letter formula, BOSS. Like I said, I like the word boss. So it's branding, it's offer, it's social, and it's sales. Okay.
Yes.
So making sure all of those things are in place are the way that we've been able to do this. Before we show you how to turn these letters into lots of cash, because let's all agree on something. Branding is the clearest way to help your clients know, like, and trust you. So what branding is for us, it's not logos, it's not colors, it's not fonts. I mean, those things are there. Those things
are important.
Are like, I mean, you guys know us. If you know us from social media, you know that Brian loves orange. You know that like I'm all about the teal and I love dresses and whatever, my water bottle, all this kind of stuff, whatever. But like, what it is it's more about a way to have your clients know, like, and trust you. It's more about letting them know that you're a real person, letting them know that you know what you're doing and that you are friendly and approachable and somebody that you want to hang out with. Like
I always look at it like this. Okay. Our personality is one side of a drawbridge.
Yeah.
And our client is the other side. And we spend so much of our life trying to figure out how to get that drawbridge down. And for me, how I've done that is I have created a personal connection in the things that I do. That personal connection in your self-worth, what you deserve, and what you love, and what in the world that you're creating where you feel you're most free, that's the button that you press that brings that drawbridge down. When you show that, you show your authentic self in that, that person that's observing you, looking at you, liking your photos, or maybe not doing any of those things, but just observing, they're going to feel comfortable. They're going to feel relaxed. And then all of a sudden their drawbridge is going to come down. And then you know what's going to happen? You guys are going to walk across and you're going to have a connection.
Exactly.
That to me is really the secret behind the longevity in any business.
Exactly. So first of all, what is branding? Like we were saying. So these are some like articles and things like that to say that it's not just us that's talking about branding. There are actual people like Forbes magazine and things like that that know that this is actually a thing. So you think that it's that like logos and colors, but it's actually the entire identity of your business. Your brand gives you personality.
And the thing is, I have secretly made like a 30 question questionnaire that I made personally. I was getting a burrito. If you ever can't find me or if you want to hang out with me, just take me to a Mexican restaurant and I'll tell you everything about life.
That's his favorite.
So I wrote down my version of what it is to have a personal brand. What comes into that? What's the DNA of that? And that's what I want to work through with our clients.
Exactly.
Because those questions are so essential to your development and success of your business.
Exactly. So it creates loyal customers. It increases the recognizability of products and services. And it plays an essential role in the overall perceptions of both your existing and potential customers. Like these are other things like Forbes magazine, like just different blogs and things like that, digital marketing, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I was gonna say about personal branding.
Mhm.
Every single personal brand is unique and different.
Yeah.
And no, it's like a DNA strand. Every DNA strand is different.
Yeah.
None of them are the same.
Mhm.
And the thing is, when you take the time to get to know your strand,
Yeah.
you get to know your direction.
Exactly.
Because the moment you plug into your personality,
Mhm.
how you think, how you feel,
Yep.
how you express yourself,
Yep.
that's why people are attracted to you.
Yeah. So this is the whole thing, okay? So you can't rely on your Facebook page alone to reach your audience. Facebook's honestly created kind of a pay to play model
Sure.
where the only way your business page is going to get reach is through paid ads.
Yep.
And we already told you that they're not working right now. So that's why you put it on your page. So if it's a Facebook business page engagement trash, Facebook personal page engagement cash.
This is what's been crazy for me, okay? Because I post more on my reels, because I pour more on my Instagram stories and my stories, and I post more videos. Facebook has literally made me an influencer.
Yeah.
I didn't go after that. Facebook did.
Yeah.
So basically, if what I can do now is that I can post a video in my Facebook stories or whatever that is, reels, and they're starting to monetize it now.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. They keep on saying I can't use the music that they allow me to use. It's weird. Anyway, but basically they will put ads in my videos that I put out, and I can make money. And I'm saying is that the more visual,
and this is on his personal page. We're not
this is
talking
my personal. This is all personal.
This is literally his personal thing.
Skinny tea.
Skinny tea. Yes, Brian will be selling skinny tea. No,
skinny tea.
It's just whatever. It's just like a little. It's MLM kind of thing.
Oh
whatever.
no, I won't be selling that. No. What I'm saying is that I think Facebook has picked up on my personality, and because that, it helps them get to the people that they want using Facebook.
Exactly.
And your personality is what sells people on anything. So the more plugged in you are to it, the more electricity flows through it.
Exactly. So genuinely, like, wouldn't you guys agree? Like, social media is the best way to engage, and your personal social media is the best way to engage your audience.
And there was something in there about LinkedIn.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, guys. LinkedIn is just but LinkedIn's just like Facebook now.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy. And we're going to be doing some deep dives into that future and what we're doing here because
I'm trying to learn LinkedIn. I'm really bad about it, honestly.
There's so many things that
You follow me on LinkedIn. I'm sorry. We're actually going live on LinkedIn right now.
Oh, we are. Okay.
Yeah. So technically we're there, but
it's just
I don't know
there's so many different other platforms to sell what you do.
Yeah.
And that's what we're working through.
Yeah.
That's what we're developing.
Yeah.
Because the more people know about you, the more people are going to want to work with you.
Yeah. So honestly, imagine, we want you guys to just kind of think about this, okay? Before we tell you the formula. Imagine knowing that the next year of your business growth journey is going to be, you know what's going to happen because of the consistent revenue generating audience.
A predictable process is a lot easier to rely on.
So much easier
than something that genuinely does not care about you.
Yeah.
Like a computer is when you rely on something that you made, it's much more easier to rely on.
Yeah.
Than a computer that just does whatever it wants to do.
Yeah. So imagine building a business that even when, and you can even do this when you've got a financial crisis, or like, everybody's talking about inflation and how everything's kind of going down. The thing about it is, what's nice about it is if you build your business the right way, you can actually ride the wave and do better. Like the businesses that survive are the ones that like actually meet the needs of people, that actually help people with what it is that they're doing. And like, we thrived during COVID.
We did.
Like,
we did.
2020 was actually our first year that we made six figures.
Yeah.
I know it sounds funny. Like, we should have learned this a long time ago, which is the reason why we're teaching it to you now. But like, we thrived in the middle of COVID, and we thrived in times where the future wasn't certain, honestly.
And I say one of the reasons why we really thrived is because we really understood our foundation.
Yep.
We
exactly.
really understood what we were selling. We understood who we were selling it to.
Yep.
And we knew how to make the experience that was refreshing and refined.
Yep. So imagine just having a more consistent cash flow and not starting from zero every single month.
Now, there's no shame if you start at zero every month.
Yeah.
But there's a whole lot more joy with having a predictable process that allows you to be like, okay, when I do this, I'm going to get interaction.
Exactly.
That's what we love.
Yeah. So if you've tried the shoot and burn lifestyle or low ticket sales and you're just burned out, exhausted because you're only one person.
And we've been there and we have done that 100%.
If you've managed to take in enough information that now you find yourself completely and utterly lost. If you're financially set with your job, but you feel completely like you're drowning in the box life, was this all it was meant to be? If you had time, like tiny offers scattered all over the place, not knowing when to launch. Maybe one week you'll do a live, next week you'll do a post. Like hopefully I'll do a reel or like a story or something like that. And you're like kind of like all over the place.
We believe in creating consistency where you're not just throwing stuff at the wall and hope it sticks.
Yeah.
What we do now is because we said no more to that.
Exactly.
Consistency is the key.
Yeah.
And what's connected to the key is your success. When you have something that you can rely on, you can rest at night.
Exactly. So you piecemealed all of your branding, grabbing various templates from Canva, even trying to make your own in Photoshop, but like none of it's consistent. I've seen that so many times.
Or we see something that everybody else does. Where because we see it, we're like, okay, this obviously works.
Yeah.
But we see the most success with someone when they make it their own.
Exactly.
That's what we've done with every single freaking thing we've learned.
Yep.
Is that we've given ourselves permission to make something our own.
Yeah.
Something that is prepackaged only lasts so long because of the environment of the person that made it for it. How much more successful are you going to be when you make something that has your voice, that has your DNA, that has your scan code on it?
Yeah.
Because it's you.
Yeah.
And that's what real success is.
Yeah.
Is that I made this for me so I could share it with the world.
Yeah. So it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Because you've been sold opportunities that didn't give you the whole thing and trying to make a buck off the information alone.
Yeah.
Information alone doesn't do anything. Me sitting there on the computer learning about all these different things didn't work. What really worked was the implementation.
And also what really worked was celebrating the trial and error.
Yeah. Exactly.
Celebrating it, making parties.
Yep.
Little victories that no one else knows. Be like, I got this wrong.
Yeah.
But now I have it right.
Exactly.
Because I allowed myself to experiment.
Yep.
And make mistakes.
So are you worried that about will your effort be worth it? Are you worried that will anyone buy my offer if I charge above $1,000?
And I want to say yes to all of this.
Yeah.
Because of course, no one will buy it because your brain is telling you no.
Yeah, it's got all about the mindset.
But the moment that you believe that you are worthy, yes, there is a client out there.
Oh yeah.
But you never get past that until you believe it yourself.
Yeah.
Stop asking someone to dictate what you feel and what you don't deserve or what you do deserve. You have to give yourself permission to believe that you do deserve it, regardless of bad experiences, other things that have happened. You are the gatekeeper to your success.
Yeah. So are you worried about failing? So are you so worried about failing that you've been paralyzed within that action? I know myself, I've done that. I've gotten to where I'm like, I'm just going to sit on my computer and I'm going to do these things and I'm just going to like scroll on my phone, whatever,
Yeah.
And like I get paralyzed. Or we've also felt like, I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to be sleazy and salesy. Like I can't be, I don't want to be a snake oil salesman, you know?
Yeah.
Don't worry. We've got you. For real, stop worrying.
Yeah.
We've got you. Because the truth of the matter is you don't need a large audience.
Yep.
You don't need a big team.
That's
you
true.
can do it lean.
That's it.
You don't need a lot of money to get started.
That's true.
You don't even honestly have to have an offer created.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
You don't have to have mastered marketing. You don't have to be a super techie person.
You don't have to be Bill Gates.
Right?
I thought my dad was Bill Gates.
Yeah.
At least not.
All you have to do is just stop worrying. Okay. It's all about your mindset and the way that you walk into it.
I want to add something to that. You can go back a slide.
Yeah.
Oh, no, go forward again.
Yeah.
There was something about, go back again. Okay.
Yeah. The antidote to anxiety is action.
The antidote for me personally is your perseverance.
Yeah.
In what you do know. the victories that you've had,
Yeah.
those are the reasons why you're going to be successful in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So much of what you've done, so much of what you succeeded in is the remnants, is the antidote to you overcoming your biggest fear right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at your previous successes, there's something in those ingredients that you can apply to your business right now.
Mm-hmm.
We believe that success is not overnight. Success is in understanding who you really are and what you're really capable of when you are free from the doubt of thinking you're not worthy.
Yep.
Your success is on the other side of fear.
Exactly.
And that's what we love teaching.
Yep. So we don't want you to worry about any of this ever again. We're going to help you with your branding, your messaging, and to really find your true, authentic voice to where you can attract your ideal clients. So never buy a program that teaches you to do this, but is always still kind of missing a component to make you pay more, because we're going to spill it all. So let's get into this boss method, okay? That's what you're here for. That's what we've been talking about, is the boss method.
That's it.
So keep in mind as we cover each letter that I've been exactly where you are. We just told you your story. You know that we've been exactly where you are.
Yeah.
We have went where you're going, and this is exactly what worked for us. Okay?
We have been in the valley of death.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do two.
Yeah,
okay.
do it.
So B is for branding.
Mm-hmm.
How you think, how you feel, what you do, what you don't do, what you wear, what you don't wear, what you say, what you don't say.
Yeah.
That is your branding.
Yeah.
Okay. O is for offer. Charging what you're worth and understanding what that client's value and helping them solve their problem is your offer.
Yeah.
Your offer is genuinely, if you want to take off the wrapping, you want to take off the fancy lights, your offer is legitimately you.
Yeah.
Your client is buying you. It doesn't matter about the camera, doesn't matter about the website. Those are elements, but they aren't the core. You are the offer.
Yeah.
The more refined you are, the more authentic you are, that is your offer.
Yeah.
And we feel like when we see clients of ours deep dive in that, they really see, wow, I never showed them this part of me. And when they show that part of yourself that you're scared of, or you're nervous of, or your real life, personal life, but it still connects to what you do, and that's what drives you.
Yeah.
That's what makes you thrive. Thriving is relating and connecting to people in a new way.
Exactly. So S is for sales. That's my favorite part. I know it sounds silly, but I've gotten to where I've gone from being terrified to sales to where it's actually really fun. It's a game. Okay.
Yeah.
So using IPS, in-person sales, in combination with the same day sales, doing the same day, like right after your session, right after your shoot, like that means that you work smarter, not harder, and you get paid more for less work. Like, that's the whole thing. That's what I want more than anything, is for you to get paid more for less work.
We love same day sales, and we expand and we go into this in our course.
Yep.
But we believe same day sales is an exhilarating process.
Yep.
I don't surf, but a surfer that finds a wave and rides it all the way into the shore is way more fulfilling than sitting on that wave for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then be like, where is this going?
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you wait too long, you lose the excitement. So same day sales as us is riding that wave into the shore.
Yeah.
I mean, like, here's your photos, here's the money. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we have perfected that in our daily life, real life situations.
Yeah. So S is for social. It's helping you show up consistently on social media without feeling like it's a burden or coming across as fake.
Yeah.
So we really want to help you own your message and your voice by speaking to your audience with impact. Okay.
Speaking with authenticity.
Yeah, exactly. For real.
Speaking with vulnerability. And I think sometimes that's what I feel like I've had more success with speaking with my vulnerability.
Yep.
Than speaking with my, I'm a photographer. Hire me. I take good photos. It's like, I believe that you and I are the most essential and most valuable part of our business.
Yeah.
If I'm not showing that, how in the world are people ever going to know where my product comes from?
Exactly.
I make the product.
Yeah.
So I'm showing who I am. So anyone who wants to be in my world, invest in me before they invest in the photos.
Exactly. So branding plus an offer that's high ticket, same day sales, and your socials. That's going to give you a system that's going to enable you to create a brand that both reflects who you are as a person, but also attracts your ideal client. That's what #boss means.
And it's like, be your definition of confidence.
Yeah.
What what are the things that make you feel confident?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would love to know. I know we're getting close to her being
Yep.
done, but if you guys could post here,
Mm-hmm.
what makes you confident?
Yep.
When you're scared, when you're nervous, when you're
Mm-hmm.
overwhelmed, where do you go? What do you do to remain confident?
Yep.
Selling and
Mm-hmm.
running your business is all built of what your response is to that.
Yeah. So branding plus offer plus sales plus social, that's what it is. So it's all about the branding, the offer, the sales, and the socials. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
So do you guys kind of see how this is the only formula that you really need to
Yeah.
succeed?
And the thing is, we
We're going to
know
help you master this process. Yeah.
we know that everyone's,
Hmm.
I guess you could say, uh like, I can't think of the word, not expansion, but their understanding
Hmm.
of what we're talking about is personal to your relationship to what you do.
Yeah.
It's like every relationship's different, every marriage is different,
Hmm.
every brand is different
Hmm.
because of the ingredients.
Yep.
And what Lindsay and I love doing,
Hmm.
which I sometimes could be scary and like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? But we love getting to know who you are as a person
Yeah.
because that is the DNA behind anything that you offer.
Exactly.
And your understanding, your revelation,
Hmm.
your definition of all this comes through your filter.
Yep.
It's about how you're raised. It's about the people you're around, the people that are in your life, all these things.
Hmm.
And we love getting to know who you are as a person, which
Hmm.
enables us to help you and help you define what you should be doing in your business.
Yeah. So now that you've been sitting here with us and listening to this, actually more like 60 minutes, like, and you've heard about our previous success stories and seen the results, probably starting to feel extremely excited. And obviously, you can see how this will change your life forever. So, with that time, it's time to commit. Okay. So, I want you guys to say this: I, your name, commit to implementing the boss system into my sales. Okay. So, I'm going to copy and paste it real quick. Give me just a second. I'm going to copy and paste it into the comments right there. So I want you guys to do that, okay? I want you guys to put that in there and just say that. Um, like I will learn the things that I want to gain from personal and financial success with
Yep.
my audience.
Yep.
All right. So this is what we want you to do, okay? Tomorrow, we're going to be going over everything you need to know in order to create an automated group and and basically just help you brand yourself.
Yep.
So we're going to be going live at 11 a.m., 8 a.m. Eastern. We're going to be talking honestly about branding tomorrow. So this is kind of day one, your six-figure mindset. This is your homework, okay? So I actually created a
How are they going to be able to fill this out?
so what I did is I actually created a PDF. I just need to link it or put a new link in the group. So I might put a link in the comments later on and stuff too.
I think this is really great because here's the thing, guys. I have gotten so much further in my life and
Hmm.
clarity in who I am
Yep.
by writing stuff out,
Hmm.
asking myself the hard questions.
Yep.
I feel like sometimes we're kind of conditioned to play nice and don't talk about tough things and kind of hold it back.
Exactly.
And I feel like you're only going to have breakthrough if you actually acknowledge the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
If you're afraid of this,
Hmm.
talk about that.
Yeah.
If you don't like this, tell me why.
Hmm.
That's going to help you clarify where you're going.
Yep.
And that is so essential into what Lindsay and I do
Hmm.
when we mentor people.
Yep.
It's about clarity,
Exactly.
not just mental, not
Hmm.
just, not just spiritual, but just internal clarity.
Yeah.
Of who you are.
Hmm.
What is the voice in your head that's telling you no? But
Yep.
also finding the voice in your head that's saying yes.
Yep.
And connecting those two things.
Exactly.
Or eliminating something that's gotten in the way.
Yeah.
Your success is 100,000% dependent on you having these hard conversations.
Yep.
And getting to know who you are as a person before your brand even
Hmm.
becomes a thing.
Exactly.
That's what I'm dedicated to. It's like,
Hmm.
I have been through it, guys. I have experienced a lot of emotions in the last couple of years of my life.
Yeah.
And I realized that I'm most powerful when I talk about things that bring life to me.
Exactly.
If your business is on life support, figure out what it's plugged into.
Exactly.
What's running through your system?
Yeah.
What is the worries? What is the doubts? What's
Hmm.
the anxiety that's causing you to say no?
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's because you're afraid of the unknown.
Exactly.
And I believe when you invest in the things that have brought you life, that have
Hmm.
brought you further than you ever thought, there's something about those things that are going to tell you, hey, I'm worthy of success.
Yeah.
Your business is just a number. You are not.
Right.
And the moment you know who you really are, and the moment you know who you really created to be, your business elevates. It doesn't just sit in a place, but it bounces around like kind of like a rubber ball. Who you are and what you do is supposed to be on the move. It's never supposed to be stagnant.
Exactly.
And Lindsay and I, we want to help business owners move the needle. Fill their tank up with encouragement, reality, and truth that identifies in who they really are. So it's like,
there's the link to the workbook, by the way.
And the thing is, we're going live tomorrow, the next couple of days, but we love having conversations. If you like what we're talking about and you want to know more, we would love to schedule a Zoom with you. It's free Zoom, no pressure. We just love to see where you're at, like to see what you're doing in your business. And we can suggest some things that can maybe help you out. But ultimately, we want to help you change your life, but it starts with you understanding who you are as a person.
Exactly.
Because your business is only as powerful as you let the power, is only as powerful as it's connected to the grid. And if your grid is weak and it's falling apart, no matter how many times you connect something to it, it's not going to have the power it has. You deserve to be powerful. And if you feel like your grid, you feel like the electricity in your life is waning, of course you're not getting anywhere. We believe when you find your value, it's like connecting yourself up to another power grid. And this power runs through you. But it's all about knowing your worth. That's what Lindsay and I want to help photographers with. That's what we want to help business owners really understand their true purpose, also their true power. So if you'd like to, honestly, you can schedule a call with us. We'd love to hang out with you for a little bit, get to know you. But this is what we're passionate about. And also, if you want to know more questions, if you want to know more questions, if you want to know more about us, reach out to us. Don't be a stranger. Comment on one of our statuses, or reach out to Lindsay and I personally.
Send us a message.
Send us a message. Just talk to us. We love that. And
I will probably type. Brian will probably do a voice. That's just how it is. I type better than I can think, and Brian's a verbal processor.
I'm a verbal processor,
so
and
it's all good.
And I know how scary it is to talk about things that are scary. 100% know that. You feel like there's no way out, or there's no way of getting out of a situation because it feels so big. And I'm like, I've been there, and that's why we do what we do, is to help people get out. And figure out who they are.
So join us tomorrow. We're going to be going live again tomorrow. Same time, 11 a.m. EST, right here, exactly where you read it.
11 a.m., not p.m.
Not p.m. I was like, Brian, what if we did go live at 11 p.m.? That would be ridiculous.
It would be a blank screen.
Because Brian goes to bed at 9:30. Okay, I go to bed around 11:15. But that is not.
There would be a puppet here talking. Hey guys,
just not be good.
Welcome to Get Branded with Brian plus Lindsay.
All right,
and that would be a disaster.
Anyway, join us tomorrow. We're super excited. It's going to be amazing.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
See ya.
See you later. Bye.